Core Memory Unlocked.
Horror.
It is a new season of Core Memory Unlocked Horror. I am your host, the Dream Master himself, Zach Hilton, and alongside with me is the Dream Child, Jim.
Yeah, that second season renewal came pretty easy. I don't know if we'll get a season 3. We'll see what happens.
We don't know. We'll have to see where this goes. So, this is an interesting season of Core Memory Unlocked because in the description below, you can find my reactions to the original series with Brooke from 2025. We just did this. So Brooke's never seen A Nightmare on Elm Street. And we watched all 7 of the original films. And now here we are on Core Memory Unlocked Horror. And the goal is that I'm going to have some guests. Jim's going to start with the first few. And then I'll squeeze in some other people that love A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then we'll wrap it up by ranking them. Jim will be back for that, but Brooke will be back for that, and we gotta record that ASAP as possible because she's already forgotten what these movies were about.
She forgot 3 by the time you watched 4.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong, and it shows during the recordings. So again, if you want to see those reactions in the description below, Death Curse Club, thanks for coming along on the journey. So, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Jim. We are starting with the OG, the original, and I'm going to take a guess. I'm taking a gander. We may have talked about it. We may not have. Who fucking knows at this point? But I do not think A Nightmare on Elm Street was the first movie of Freddy you saw.
No, probably not. I'm sure I've watched them out of order.
I can confirm that the original is not the first stab at Freddy for me. And I find that so interesting because this is the reason why I think Freddy is top tier horror icon, even just out of the slasher version, like thinking Michael Myers, thinking Jason Voorhees. I'm saying, like, out of heroes like Ash or Laurie, when you think of horror, I think Freddy is an automatic go-to if you are a adult to a kid from the 80s to now. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think one of the differences between Freddy and a lot of the other ones is that Freddy has a personality, and that also comes from Freddy having a definitive actor.
Yeah.
Where the other ones are masked, silent killers that can easily be swapped in and out.
Right.
Now, I think Freddy, became a victim of his own popularity as we get further down into this franchise. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely a top tier.
I think when we get into this series, and you'll probably be a guest on at least the later half of these, but I think there's a point in this franchise when the scare factor of Freddy Krueger absolutely leaves the threshold. Like, there's no more scare. It's literally, he's almost there to be a setup for a punchline or whatever gag they're going to do. That being said, in the later of the series, I do think there's fun moments. And hell, there's one movie in the franchise that I enjoy more now than I've ever enjoyed previously watching these. That said, this is a 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven, written and directed by. For me, this one not being my first stab of the franchise, because I think I would say 3 or 4 would be the beginning of me, and I would actually say more than not, the video game on Nintendo was my first stab at Freddy. Like, who is this guy? This guy looks cool. So I know when I became a middle schooler, I went back. I was like, oh, I want to check this out. And obviously, once I reach high school, and that's when my like film love really breaks out. And I had gotten the DVD box set that they put out of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And fun fact about that, I still own that box set. Like I've traded in my original Friday the 13th Paramount one. I have box sets galore that I have traded for whatever credit to get fucking whatever Hayden Christensen movie from 2005 where he's Jumper, the movie Jumper.
Jumper.
But for some reason, and currently now it's a stamp with this set, I'm never giving it up because it itself is a essence of time almost, because like you're talking, not only is it a DVD box set which has gnarly art, like it's really great, and if I'm a really good podcaster, YouTuber, I'm actually showing it right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
know
3
if I
rooms away from me right now, so I can't
right.
get it.
Right, but it has Freddy Krueger on it in a nice like gold color. All of the wording says it. And then the DVD slips themselves, they have miniature versions of the poster on the cover, but they're the crack open DVDs, the OG DVD case, if you will. So there's a lot about that set that I'm just not ready to part with yet.
And it comes with the 3D glasses.
It does come with the 3D glasses. It really makes me want to watch the DVD just for Brooke's sake, because I didn't tell Brooke that that section was 3D. So I wonder how that would come across now. So back to where we are right now. A Nightmare on Elm Street also has a star in the making in this. It has Johnny Depp, I believe pre 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, I think so.
And his star is about to rise in the 90s, but this is the first. Heather Langenkamp is our final girl scream queen in this. And if you're watching this or listening, you know what Nightmare on Elm Street's about. It's about a group of teens dealing with this invader in their dreams. And there's scenarios that they're put in where they can't get out, and they keep just making it out. But one by one, they are all dying in gnarly ways. Heather Langenkamp's Nancy is standing up for herself. She finds out that the parents of Springwood killed this man via fire, burned him alive, hence why Freddy is all scarred and burned up in this movie. And he has somehow invaded the children's dreams of the parents that killed him, because he was a child murderer. So they got together, the parents, and they killed Freddy. Now he wants revenge by killing the teens. Heather Langenkamp standing up to him. At the end of this movie, she creates a Home Alone scenario that I just find better as I get older. And she doesn't want to give him any more fear. So he kind of goes away at the end. And then the very end, she thinks she's awake. Her friends are alive. And when she gets in the car that Johnny Depp's driving, top comes over, but it's red and green like Freddy's sweater. And then the mom gets pulled through the door. And that's the movie. It's a very, like, what the fuck happened? Like, was this real? Was this not real? We will not know until further entries. And we still won't know in those entries. So, Jim, what are some good takeaways from this film for you?
Well, you know, the special effects were really good, especially when you look at it in 1984. Everything was obviously practical because they weren't doing a bunch of CGI stuff back then. You know, the rotating room used to drag Tina across onto the ceiling, and that was a set that was later on used in Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Just in case you were wondering.
Hard, deep cut.
Just a little trivia knowledge there for you. You know, and then, you know, Johnny Depp and his death scene and the blood coming up. I mean, there's just a lot of good camera work, and you can definitely see where there's a lot of promise in Wes Craven moving forward.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then like I said, like you said, a really early Johnny Depp. I mean, as the franchise that throughout you'll see a number of actors before they were famous pop up. Uh, Freddy was scary. Well, still make like you could see like hints of making jokes and but
Mm-hmm.
nothing corny.
Mm-mm.
It was just kind of like a really creepy joke.
His
Um,
jokes were disturbing. His
yeah,
his play was disturbing. Like the moment when
cutting
he's
off the
like,
fingers and everything.
I like talking to Nancy on the phone. I'm your boyfriend now, and the
Yeah,
tongue comes through the phone. Like that's disturbing.
right. So yeah, this was a time when this was a scary movie, and it was different. It was a different kind of killer because it was somebody killing in your dreams, and it was somebody that had a personality and a face,
Mm-hmm.
and you just really didn't know. And everyone goes to sleep, everyone dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So it I could see where you could watch a movie like that back then. I didn't watch it until I was probably sixth grade or middle school because that's when I started watching horror movies. Is
All right.
that time frame?
Right. That's the same for me. Like I didn't get into him until about middle school. Previous before that would be the video game. That's what I had more of. But all your hits here of the good are correct. Like Robert Englund, Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger is perfect casting if casting could ever be more perfect. He was menacing. And what was kind of great is like he didn't have this big, overpowering body. He
Yeah,
was literally a regular sized man being
yeah.
able to do fantastical things like the stretching of the arms and such.
He was a thin
West,
guy. He was like what,
yeah,
five? I
yeah,
mean,
probably 5'8"
5'8" at most, probably
most.
130 pounds.
Yeah. Wes Craven, he gave us the House on Haunted, not House on Haunted Hill. What was it? What the
Hills Have
fuck is
Eyes, Last House on the
Hills Have?
Left.
That's the one. Last House on the Left. Hills Have Eyes, and then he comes in here and gives us a horror icon, and again, talking icon. Usually, when you watch these movies, it's this prowler from the dark corners of shadows coming to get you. This one has a personality, and it's scary. It's scary how much torture he wants to give the kids, because if he wanted to kill the kids from the get-go, he could have,
Yeah,
but he wanted to torture. And like I think that was kind of the point, while taking them out one by one, is like traumatize them. And the movie does a really good job of not telling you who the final girl is at the get, because we're following Tina for a
right.
bit expecting that to be our final girl, and that's not the way it's done. Like you said, the rotating room and such like that, lots of good stuff. um
Tina's
some fun.
boyfriend gets killed while he's in prison, in jail.
That's a erotic asphyxiation. Honestly, that's what that was.
Hey, sometimes that happens. People get killed while they're in jail, and they call it suicide when it's not.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But like you talking about the special effects, like New Line Cinema starting off with this movie, it created their legacy for so many years. Like because of this movie, and I think a lot of people tout this as like without Nightmare, you don't get Lord of the Rings. You
Right.
don't get like these big movies because this independent film company is bursting into the scene with Robert Shea and such.
It's the house that Freddie built.
It is the house Freddie built. So yes, some cool things about the production. The rotating room, which Jim talked about. It's the famous scene where Tina is dragged across the ceiling. It did 360 degrees. It's been used in different films. I believe Poltergeist, a couple of years earlier, used something similar to this. Johnny Depp being pulled through the bed, and then a fountain of blood pouring out. That was 500 gallons of blood. The sticky stairs. Nancy at the end trying to run away from Freddy gets stuck in this like gooey, mucky stair. It looks really bad in HD. I'll be honest with you. Like you could tell there was no stairs, but it was like something kind of creative. The boiler room set is disgusting. The iconic sweater. Let's talk the look of Freddy. The the hat, the fedora, which I love, the green and red supposedly gives off a weird vibe to a lot. That's why they went with it. It's striped, it's Christmassy, it's really different. And again, the burned body is all iconic and fucking amazing and such a good look. And then the claw. The claw itself is just an out of left field, like, you know, Michael Myers has the kitchen knife, and then, you know, the machete for Jason. Simple things that are easily picked up. The fact that Freddy Krueger has a glove of something so dark and scary, it really goes to show you how evil this man was.
Right, because it's something that he would have had to go out of his way to make. It's not, an organic flesh part of his body. This is something that this man was like, you know what I want? I want a glove with some metal blades on it.
Right.
And he decided to go out and make himself one.
It's fucking disgusting, dude. So watching it back then, I think it's well said. Like, it's easy to go back to. Like, weirdly enough, it's not a movie that you'll catch me seeing yearly. Like, Halloween gets that benefit because not only is it my like all-time favorite horror movie, but it's based on a holiday that I can always come back to. The cool thing about this franchise, specifically this movie, I could watch this at any time. I don't have to base it at Halloween. I could watch it in January if I want. If I want to watch it as, oh, the kids are going back to school, this is my back to school movie for the kid. Like, it's easy to just put on, but funny enough, isn't the one I go back to the most. And watching it now, I really do respect what they were going for. And I have more of a, like, watching this one, I have more of a film love than actual horror movie necessity to go back to it. Because I think it being an independent film, watching these young kids who are like, probably didn't have any idea what this was going to be, and seeing it turn into one of the biggest horror franchises for the better part of a decade is crazy. So for me, going back to it, it's more of that film love I have. Do you watch this on a regular basis or nearly?
No, I wouldn't say a regular basis, and it's probably not my first go-to of the franchise if I'm going to put one on.
Right.
But it's one that I could put on and watch at any minute. Like you said, it doesn't have to be at a certain time of year, and I don't feel like it's a chore to watch.
Right.
It still holds up, I think, as an entertaining watch.
For sure. The box office for this film was $25 million, its original gross, which I'm guessing the budget, Nightmare on Elm Street budget, what would you say, $1 million?
Yeah, probably.
$1.1 million. Absolutely. Absolutely. It made them a shit ton of money for back in the day. And I would imagine 25 with inflation is probably 60 to 75.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Today. So, like, that's a hit. That's a big hit. And, like, the budget probably would have been $7 million to make today, just to give people an idea of what we're dealing with. So, that's a big hit. I'm sure video was an even bigger hit. And watching it this last time, it's just like you understood why it became a franchise. Wes Craven created something great, and it sparked something for the future. Is that the same to say for part 2? I guess you're going to have to stick around and find out when we talk A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 on the next Core Memory Unlocked. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you are watching the video on YouTube, we have the Death Curse Club. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. What are your thoughts on A Nightmare on Elm Street? Have you watched the reactions? If not, go back, watch them now. We're on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple podcast feeds. The Spotify version does have video as well, so if video's your jam, baby, you know what to do. If you want to support the channel, we got a bunch of links down below. Gruesome Brew Coffee, Tea Public, Patreon. We do it all. Help us help you in the spooky environment known as the internet. Jim, thanks for coming on. You want to plug anything before you go?
Get yourself ready for Robert Englund in Pinocchio Unstrung.
I'm more of a Phantom of the Opera guy, brother. I gotta be honest. All right, catch you next time.